Happy Halloween, witches! We're going to make some beaded spiders today, and I will show you how. These are great for just like decorating around the house, which is what I use them for, but you could also use them as jewelry, like put them on a necklace, make little ones for earrings, or even a brooch or something. They're really fun, and they're really easy. So follow along, and let's get started. Okay, first off, with the body, I'm going to show you two different ways to make the body, and I apologize for this really bad angle. I must have bumped the camera, but I'll explain it when you can't see it. So take two pieces of wire, and I choose the thickest wire that I can that will fit in the holes of the beads that I'm using, just so that it'll have more structure. So these are probably 1.5 inches or 2 for a medium to large spider, and I just stick it in one and make a loop on the end and stick it in the other, and then separate it to make antennas. But you do want to make sure you leave some room in between the body. I kind of forgot to do that here. And you can put beads on the antennas, or you can just curl it like I did here without putting the beads on, but do leave some room in between the two beads, the head and the butt bead. You want to leave a little bit of room so that you have room to wrap the legs around it. So that's the first way, and that way is nice if you want to like hang a string from the end of the butt bead, like he's like hanging on a web or something, or you can use them for earrings or something. But I like this way a little bit more. For my purposes, I just leave them on like a table or something for decorating. So I do the same length, except for instead of cutting it in two, it's one piece. So it's probably like 4 inches long for this one, maybe 5. Anyway, leave extra. You can always cut off the extra. So I put it through all the way and then fold it up. You see? And then for the antennas, on this one I'm just going to make some little tiny, what are they called? Seed beads. And the best way that I've found to put seed beads on is to just leave them on the counter and poke them with the wire. If your wire is really big and the seed beads are really tiny like this one, then you got to go right at the right angle, straight down. And it's a lot easier than picking each one up, trying to find the hole and sticking it on. It's a lot faster. So then I just curl it with the round nose pliers, or pinch it or something if you don't have round nose pliers, so that it doesn't come off of the end of the wire. Just curl that around. And I tend to just double up the wire curl so that if I needed to, I could, go back and make the body longer. But you can have it just go one way around or whatever. So one thing I like about this way is if you leave enough room for the body, for the legs to wrap around, that looks like way too much room, but if you don't leave enough, then you won't have enough room to bend the butt bead up. And I like to bend the butt bead up and over the legs so that you don't really see all the leg joints that we're going to wrap around. And to get the measurement of the legs, you kind of just eyeball it and go, how long do I want my legs to be? And then add 1 inch, and then fold it in half, and so you have double that length, and cut 4 of them. So that way you have enough excess. It's probably like 2 inches excess of your estimate to wrap it around, and also to have the little holes that stop the beads from coming off at the end. So to wrap the legs around, I like to give it a good pinch first, because it's really hard to just do with your hand, especially if you're using thick wire. And I'm using a pretty thick wire. I think that this wire is an 18 gauge. I wouldn't go any thicker than that ever. This is about as thick as I would ever go, unless you're doing a really huge spider, which I'll show you later. And If you're doing a tiny spider, of course you want to use a small gauge. Like I've done tiny ones even as small as 26 gauge, but if you do too thin of a wire, it'll be floppy and the legs won't stand up. So that's why I say use as thick as you can get. So you make the pinch, and then using the pliers, you pinch it around and kind of pull it into place real tight. If you just use your hands, it'll still be pretty loose. That's why it's good to have those pliers around. If you have a smaller gauge wire, then they're easier to wrap around with your hand, of course. But then in the end, it's going to be floppy, and especially like when you store your spiders for the year, they get all mangled and whatnot. So I think a 20 gauge would be ideal. This one's maybe tiny too thick to work with. And then I just flatten it really good. And you could leave it as that if you wanted to, or to make it a little more secure, I will take this 26 gauge really thin wire, it might be 28 gauge, and I just wrap it in an X around it real tight just to give it security so that they don't slip around or come off. You don't have to do that. You can put like a dab of super glue in it at the end too to make it stick. At the end I will still add some super glue on that butt bead to cover up the legs, but not until I've added the beads. So then when you add the beads on the legs, I tend to like to do the front and back legs a little longer so they have two different designs or two different patterns, as you can see. So like this one has like 3 bugle beads, a little bead, 3 bugle beads, and then 1 bugle bead at the end. Bugle beads are the long skinny beads. Bugle beads, I don't actually know how they're pronounced, but this one is different. It has the same length for every single leg. And I only made 1 joint on that one. It's got 1 bead for a joint. So you pick a larger bead for the joint, and for the larger spiders, I do 2 joints per leg, and for the smaller spiders, I do just 1 because there's not enough room. That other black one with 1 really did have room, but that's the way that I chose to do it. So you can see this one has 2 big joints on each leg. You could leave the second joint off on the middle legs if you do the 2 different length legs too. But I'm just going to show you, like, all spiders are different. So you can even look up pictures of spiders to get an idea of the shape of spider that you want. But I prefer the look of the ones with the longer front legs and longer back legs. And here I'm showing you how you can do like a design on each side of the joint to kind of make it more decorative and less simple than just the bugle bead, big bead, bugle bead, you know. And that one didn't have any bugle beads. It was all seed beads. These ones are teeny tiny seed beads, making a teeny tiny spider. I've made one even a little bit smaller than this before, but this is about as small as you can get with the spiders and the seed beads. And you cannot use bugle beads on the tiny ones because it needs room to bend, and the bugle beads, of course, don't bend, don't have a lot of flex in them as the small ones do. Well, not that the beads have any flex, but you know, it leaves that space in between to give it flex. I love the look of the pearl beads. That's probably my favorite. Here's one that's a little bit mangled, but you can really do them any color. And I tend to like the pearls and the sparkles, and just go with whatever decor or whatever outfit you're wearing, depending on what you're using it for, your choice. Also, it's going to depend. If you're going to put it on a spider web, then I would make sure that you take into consideration what color your spider web material is. Some people like the black spider webs against their white wall, for instance, but then you're going to want like a white spider so it'll stand out, because a black spider on a black spider web doesn't stand out. And that's what I have in my living room usually, is a black spider web, because I have a big white wall, and then I do the white spiders or the bright colored spiders on that. But then on like the countertop, I have a white countertop, and so I like to put these black spiders. And this giant one is made out of balls that I just drilled a hole through. The head bead is a ping pong ball, and the bottom bead is a wall ball, racket ball. that I just drilled the holes through those as beads, and then used the really large seed beads for the skinny part of the legs, and you know, basically ones that I would use for the body or head as the joints, and that makes a pretty big one. Okay, so now we have to learn how to shape the legs, which is a little trickier than I thought it would be. I did this with some friends, and that seemed to be the hardest part for them. But if you just follow a couple guidelines, you just bend them at the joint. And this one's the one with the longer ones in front, longer ones in back. And I just bend them at the first joint and not the second one, right under the bead that you have for the joint. And then the front one, I just kind of turn those in a little bit. And it might look a little wonky. You just kind of shape it up to whatever, just kind of look at a picture of a spider or something and kind of just put them in the direction that you want them to be. Okay, this one is one that has equal legs on all four sides. And again, I just bend it at the single joint. This one doesn't have a second joint. And then bring the front and back ones a little bit closer to the front and point those legs in a little bit towards the butt and the head. And then the side ones, of course, they're more up and down instead of front and back. They don't point as much out. They point straight down, and maybe the joint might even like poke up a bit. So I just wanted to point out on this one, I have a lot of bugle beads or bugle beads, whatever. And they're made out of glass. And there wasn't a lot of room for bending because I put them on real tight because I didn't want the silver wire to show because I didn't have any black wire that was thick enough. And they started shattering. So keep that in mind that you need a little more room to have them bend if you have those bugle beads, because obviously the bead itself doesn't bend. Or you can put more seed beads between the joints so that there's more room for it to bend too. I just did a bugle bead and then joint and then bugle bead. Maybe do a bugle bead, seed bead, joint, seed bead, then bugle bead. So there's more flexibility there. And yeah, I just bent the first joint on all of them except for the front one, and kind of point the front and back ones out a little bit, and the middle ones go straight down with the joint maybe poking up a little bit on an angle